Hello again and welcome to my channel. I'm Mish the Dorky Reader, and today's video is going to be my October reading wrap up. In the month of October, I didn't do too bad. I ended up finishing 5 of the 10 books I had on my list, which is pretty good. I mean, it's not like exceptional, but I think it counts as pretty decent. And these are the books that were on my list. I have them all stacked up here by size. And we'll just, I guess, get started with this. So the first book I read was called Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the 4th book in the Lunar Chronicles, a sci-fi fairy tale retelling that involves the characters of Cinderella or Cinder, like a Red Riding Hood type character named Scarlet, and then Cress, like the crescent moon, which is actually a lot like Rapunzel with the long hair. And then we have Winter at the last part of the book here. Her story is referencing Snow White. And I will say, of the 4 books in the series, this was my favorite. I absolutely loved how she tied everything together. The main epic war battle, whatever, came to a head, and the villain in this story, the evil queen, was so magnificent. Like truly just disturbing, but with a realistic and sick backstory that kind of made her who she is. It was very interesting. I know there are 2 books that kind of are like novellas that continue in this series, and I am interested in reading those eventually, but book 4 was fantastic. I thought it was really great. Especially, I mean, these are YA books, so don't expect like that adult feel, you know, but that said, it was still so much fun. Like, these would be such a cool movie if they ever came, like Star Wars-esque with all the, you know, space travel and different places they go. I do think that some people might find it a little bit cringe. Some of the romance has a little bit of that, I don't know, not damsel in distress, but yeah, a little bit of a damsel in distress stuff going on, which for me personally, I like that. I really do. I want to be swept off my feet by someone, so having a cool guy like that around, I'm into it. I mean, not everyone is, so if that's not for you, I would avoid it. But I do think that the series was really well done, especially for a YA, and I had a really good time reading it. It was over 800 pages long, so it was a pretty solid chunking, what is that even? A solid chunk of a book for the last, like the conclusion, but I really liked it, so yay. I ended up giving it, I gave it a 5-star, not because it's like 5-star, but like because in the world of YA, romantasy, I just had such a great time. So I definitely gave this a nice 5-star point on my Goodreads score. I would say it's probably like a 4.5 really, but I don't care. I just bumped it up because it was fun. Okay, so the next book on this stack was The Otherwhere Post. I did read this as well. This was the last book I read in October. I read a book before this book that I ended up liking the most. Like, it was my favorite book of the month. And reading this right after that kind of brought it down the score quite a bit. I think the girl character, the main character in the story, she makes some choices that to me are a little like, why? You know, and that can always put a damper on it. However, I will say the world building and magic system in this book is very unique, and it's got its own feel, you know. I like it. It was basically this girl, she is the daughter of someone who allegedly caused the ruin and destruction of a whole entire universe or other world or planet or place, whatever. And with that stigma, she didn't want people to know who she was for fear of that coming back to her and to harm her or to put her in jail for some reason, just because everyone hates her father so very much. There are multiple worlds in this universe, and in order to access those places, there used to be these big doors that were kind of magical that had been inscribed, and that after the thing that happened that I don't want to get into in detail, those doors were closed off to prevent destruction of further worlds. So people lost family members who were visiting or whatever, and so families are separated, and the only people who can transport themselves are scribers, who can kind of magically take themselves from one place to another for a brief period of time and deliver letters and postage things. Anyway, there's a special school to learn how to scribe, and only kind of certain chosen people are allowed to learn this skill, and etc., etc. She kind of puts herself in a position where she can go and learn the skill. Whether or not she does that by legal means is, you know, questionable. There is a romance in this. She falls in love with someone. She doesn't want to tell them their name. There's lots of stuff like that going on, and it kind of tries to keep you guessing to see. There's an overarching mystery, and I guess by the end of the book you'll figure it out. I feel like I kind of had an inkling. You might too when you read the book, but I don't know. But it was pretty decent. I will say this was a decent read, and it's a standalone, so I don't have to worry like, do I want to continue the series? I don't need to worry about it. It's done. It's complete. And it had a nice little ending, and there's some love. The book was decent. I think that you should give it a go. It was a nice fall feeling book because, you know, the academic setting. So anyway, that's how I feel about it. Just kind of like, it's okay. All right, the next book on my stack here is The Night Realm. I chose this as my steamy option for the month of October. I did not get around to it, however. I do love Annette Marie's other works. She has Taming Demons for Beginners or something, and she also wrote Red Winter, which is another wonderful trilogy that she had written. But Taming Demons for Beginners is not a trilogy. Don't get me mixed up there. But Red Winter was phenomenal. Taming Demons for Beginners was hilarious and sexy, and I think that anyone who's interested in checking out a new kind of more independent fantasy, romantasy author should check her out. So I'm still really curious about this one, but not this month it seems. Also, I did not end up reading Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This book I want to read. It's short, it's simple, it just wasn't happening that month. And I believe it has kind of an old Hollywood feel is what I'm getting from it, mixed with suburban fantasy of some sort. So I am curious to see how it goes, but this was not the month for that. Then I have Fated to Fall by A.K. Caggiano. Now I love A.K. Caggiano's Throne in the Dark trilogy. That book series to me was everything. I really love that romantasy. Probably my favorite romantasy out there. So funny, so sexy, so adventurous and cool. I love the side characters, I loved everything. This book, however, it kind of fell short, to be honest. It was a novella, and it's a standalone, and I just feel like there's a lot missing from it because of that. Like, it was too short. The romance was okay. It wasn't like, oh, I can't wait to see if they fall in love. Like, it just didn't have me feeling much for them. I do still think the cover art is charming, and I do love the way it looks, but I don't know if this one is a favorite. It was just kind of a meh, you know, okay. I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. Then I have Kill the Farm Boy, which gave me this wonderful bookmark inside with David Bowie on it, and I love David Bowie. I didn't read this book this month. Again, it's another comedy fantasy adventure, which is totally my style, but I just didn't get around to it. Then I have my favorite book of the month. This book was it was so perfect for me. It was called Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. And if anyone out there has watched Samurai Champloo, it has a really similar feeling to me, like on that story. Basically, like, you have this girl, she's half kitsune, and she's been given this task, this mission to protect the scroll it's like a partial part of a scroll or something like that, that if all collected, all these different scrolls, then someone can ask a wish of a dragon when it appears and get anything they want. Anyway, all these bad people want this scroll, obviously, and they are sending demons and creatures and monsters after her because they're looking for this scroll. And also we have this young guy. He's been possessed with this really, really scary demon creature, and he has this magic cursed sword, and his clan, the Shadow Clan, sent him after the scroll as well. He doesn't know that she has it on her person, but he has promised to help guide her to where he believes the scroll is and where she's told him it is. Anyway, there is this wonderful adventure that ensues with lots of scary beasts and creatures, and you've got side characters that come into play. And so now she, instead of just one swordsman, she's got two like really cool warrior guys following her around, and she's like on this little happy adventure, and she's just so sweet and cool, and I really like her. I don't know. It was just everything I wanted. I think I've been craving a book like this. One of my favorite like tropes is like that Yojimbo bodyguard type feel, and the main male character definitely feels that way. He's so powerful and awesome, but again, he is possessed with this demon. If this demon comes out, he will kill the girl. The demon will kill everyone. Like, it is a really evil thing within him. And I just love seeing little slices of that character in this book. It ended on a wow, whoa, I hope everyone's okay note, and it was very cool to visualize. And I am really looking forward to book 2. So again, Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I could not recommend it more. I gave it 5 stars. Loved it. Okay, next I have Deathless by Catherine M. Valente, or Valente, I don't know how you pronounce it. I didn't read this one again. I feel like this book has come up so many times and I never choose it, so it's like my warning to myself. If you pick it, you need to read it, because it's just, I'm always bringing it back in. Again, I chose How Freaking Romantic by Emily Harding, and I again did not read this one. Woo! So, but I'm not that surprised. It was kind of like the Book of the Month choice or something. I can't remember what it was. And to be honest, like, you know, this is not the season for me for contemporary romance. Contemporary romance, I feel like, fits best in spring and summer months and fall and winter. Very rarely do I reach for one, so that's probably why. Here we have the last book, and I did read this as well. It's called Immortal Consequences. So I did finally read a Book of the Month choice. Good for me. This book was okay. I feel like the world idea, like this afterlife thing that's going on, it's like an academy in the afterlife. I think that's where it threw me. It has multiple POVs, which is, I like that actually. And some people complain that there are too many because there's 6 characters to follow. I actually enjoyed the multiple perspectives. I thought that was fine. What I didn't really love was this world that she built, because it didn't feel rounded enough. And I think the problem was that when you start the story, you're not starting it as a new character entering this world who gets that kind of tour of what's happening. You get this kind of, everything's already settled and relationships are already established and everything is already there, and you're just kind of now there with them. And it doesn't really give you that exciting, like, oh, what's going on? Like, what's around corner number 2? Ooh, they just met. You know, there's no meet cute. Not that they need cute meet, but you know what I mean? Like, there's none of that. It's all already settled. And so for me, it took a lot of the fun out of the book. I will say it was written fine. Like, it was just easy, YA, and I think that the creatures were really scary, some of them, and I think that stuff like that was fine. But like, overall, I just didn't love this book. So for me, I'm not sure if I'll pick up book 2 because it just kind of was like meh. Anyway, this story is about like special people in purgatory, or sort of like a purgatory in afterlife, who are basically competing for a chance to hold on to their own memories. They are sort of like Grim Reapers. They help assist people who are struggling to pass on. But over time, after centuries of being there, their memories will slowly start to fade unless they win this special competition where they either get to move on and beyond, or they can choose to be in this special select group of beings or people or students who get to keep their memories and hold power. All of these people are competing for this chance, and there's lots of twists and things involved with that. I don't want to spoil anything, but for me, there's a little bit of like this loophole thing. Like, I feel like it's just kind of weird. They have it in this academy setting because they're students, but they're also like hundreds of years old. They act and behave still like they are teenagers because they all kind of go there at that age, it feels like. So I don't know, there's just a little bit of a vibe in this book that it wasn't connecting. You know what I mean? Anyway, those are my books for October. So again, I'll just take the ones that I did read and hold them up because that way, I don't have to hold a giant, massive stack of books. But here we go. These are the books that I read, and my favorite was Shadow of the Fox, and Winter was also super, super, super good. So I had 2 really great books, 3 okay books. Not too bad. I'm starting off strong in November, so I'm looking forward to giving you my November reading wrap up next month. But anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic reading month ahead of you. Tell me what you read in October. I'd love to hear it down in the comment section below. If there's any books you highly recommend for Christmas time that's coming up soon, let me know. I'm not usually, like I said, a contemporary romance reader in the winter, but if you have one that you really think is great, put it on the list. Maybe I'll pick it up. I don't know. And I guess that's it. All right, bye everyone. Thanks for sitting with me for this whole giant spiel. Yay. Oh, where's my little thing? I don't have my power thing. Oh, there we go. All right, bye.